Welcome to the latest episode of the Podiatry Business Podcast with myself, Lorcan O'Donnell, health business mentor, clinic owner and podiatrist. And whether you're watching this on YouTube, which you can watch these episodes on YouTube, or you're listening to us on audio, you're very welcome. So today's podcast title is What's Your Next Right Thing? So do you ever feel, and I know the answer is probably yes, do you ever feel as a clinic owner that you're frustrated with your clinic? Do you ever think that it has more potential as a business or whatever? Do you know that there's a long list, now whether it's written down or not, somewhere it's in your head maybe, but there's a long list of things that you really want to implement into your clinic, into your business. Maybe you need a new website. Maybe you know that your website's nice and pretty, but it's not very effective, and you want a website like the one we designed for our clients. Or maybe you decide you know that you need to do some marketing, that you're too dependent on organic marketing, word of mouth, and you need to actually kind of do something about maybe Google Ads, etc. Maybe you know that your front desk performance is not anywhere near as good as it could be, but either you're afraid to rock the boat, or you haven't got the time because you're too busy treating patients to do something about it. Or maybe you want to design a new treatment plan, a new treatment offer, maybe get some technology in, whatever. Thing is, you're not alone. Most businesses, most clinic owners have a long list of things that they want to get done. And the truth is that you never seem to be able to get it all done, do you? And no matter how much you do get done, the list seems to get added on at the other end. So even when you knock things off, something else gets added, and it can get longer and longer. And it make you feel overwhelmed because you've got this long list, no time to get it done, and it's very frustrating and overwhelming. Now, how do I know this? Because you're not alone. Every clinic owner I speak to some degree before we start working is like this. So there's a client of mine, and this client, when he came to work with me first, was working on his own, and he was turning over about 10 grand a month. He now is doing, just under 2 years later, 50 grand a month in turnover. But midway through this client was really good at getting on with things and just knuckling down, I should say, and getting on with building the business. And he came on a call one day and he said, I'm feeling really overwhelmed, I feel really stressed. And I said, well, what is it? And he said, I have this long list of things I need to get done. And he started to rattle off all these things. And I said, stop. I said, this is what you're going to do with that list. See that list there? Okay, hold it up for me. So he had it all written down on a piece of paper. Hold it up. We were on a Zoom call. I said, throw it in the bin. Throw it in the bin. So we threw it in the bin. And we started again from scratch. And I'm going to explain to you what we did with him and how he's managed to build his business by 5 times by throwing his long list in the bin and only focusing on the next right thing, which is what the answer is. So scaling your business to provide you with more profit is actually pretty easy. I've been at this quite a while now, and I've been helping a lot of clinics for a long time to do it. So I have a lot of experience at doing this. And what I have done is I have made it as easy as I can for my coaching clients to see what the map is. So if they're going from where they are to where they want to be, I've built them out a roadmap. Now, if you want, you can go and see this roadmap for free. So all you do is you go to my website, morepracticeprofits.com, and at the top on the navigation bar, you will see what we call Blueprint Roadmap. Blueprint is our premier coaching program, and the roadmap there is the steps generally that we would have clients take. So firstly, we want to stabilize their business. Then once we've stabilized their business, we want to start to scale the business. And then once we've scaled the business, we want to really maximize and ultimately have the ability to sell it if they should decide to do so. And what speed they do that is dependent on the client. I don't dictate to them how fast. Some never get to maximize. Some decide it's not what they want to do. They don't ever want to sell. But I've made it super simple for them. Okay, and you can have a look at that and feel free to screenshot it, print it off, and copy it. I have no problem with that. Anything that will help. But then I've made it super simple for them to follow it. So if they're members, if any of those links that you see, they click on it, it's a button for them. not for you because you're not a client. And it will bring them to the training. So then they watch the training on the next thing that they need to do. And then all they really need to do is to watch the training and simply implement what I tell them to do. And I've made it as easy as I can. And if they get stuck, come and ask. And me and my team will help. So you can see we've made it as simple as we can. So the point is that there is a map there for them to follow from A to Z. Or you could say a list of things that they need to do. Now, obviously, we modify that. It's depending on each client and their circumstance. So it can be somewhat bespoke, but there's a list there, a long list. And what can happen is if a client doesn't know what they're doing, or we haven't discussed this with them, or they're not listening, whatever, they'll look at this and they can get overwhelmed because suddenly they've got another long list and they don't have time and they feel overwhelmed. And when they feel overwhelmed, what will happen is it leads to nothing getting done, or bits of small things getting done instead of what should be done. So what is the solution that we teach our clients? So the solution is to always know what is your next right thing, your next right thing. Your next right thing is not the same as mine or the next clinic in the group, etc. So this is how it works. What we do is we figure out where you are, what you're trying to achieve, and we figure out what is going to move the needle next. Okay, and usually it's in the order that we have it, but not always. Sometimes we will say to the client, you actually need to jump ahead and do this one, or jump back and do this one. And that's it. You just focus on that one. And you don't worry about the rest of the plan. You don't worry about the next steps. It's there and it'll be ready waiting for you when you want it. Now, what we do is we do this in my coaching group. We do this every 2 months. So we have our next right thing meeting. And it's the same thing every time. We do it as a group. All of our clients come on together and we all do it as a group. And what you do then is you think about it this way. If we do this 6 times a year and you have one next right thing, or if there's a small next right thing, you might have 2, or a backup next right thing, then what will happen is after 12 months, you've done 6 to 12 big projects in your business. And you've moved your business a long, long way. And you've actually got shit done. The kind of shit that makes you more profitable business and gives you a better life. So this is what I mean. What you're doing is instead of having a big long list, you'll have look, this is the general plan. This is where my destination is. But what am I going to focus on next? Rather than what I'm going to focus on, next 10 things I'm going to focus on. What's the next thing to focus on? And how am I going to actually get it done? So obviously, if you're listening to this, you're probably not in my coaching group because you know this already. So how are you going to implement what I've taught you? So what you do is you need to basically break it down week by week. So what I would urge you to do is either on a Sunday night or on a Monday morning, sit down for 4 or 5 minutes and write out what are the things that you need to get done next week. Now, ideally, you'll have no more than 1 to 3 things. And what is it that if you got them done this week is huge. Then you're going to diarize in during the week when you're going to work on your business and get these done. And you're only going to work on number 1. And you're not going to work on number 2 until you've got number 1 out of the way. If you don't get number 1 out of the way, number 2 goes onto the list for next week. And it doesn't get longer. It stays ideally 1 to 3 things. And you won't get them all done every single time. And essentially, once you've diarized it, you put it in your diary, you've blocked it out, and you remove all distractions so that you're not actually trying to do other stuff at the same time. You just fucking do it. Okay? We had a meetup about a year ago, and one of our clients was talking, and I said to another client, so what does he need to do next? And he said, well, you just need to do what you say. And I said, what's that? Just fucking do it. So just implement it. And if you implement it and follow it, what you have in your list, you will see incremental progress, which might seem at the time small, but when you look back over a 6-month or 12-month period, you will see the distance that you've traveled. Now, what you also could consider doing is, and I would urge you to consider doing, is to do what I do, which is to maybe once every 2 months, once every quarter, to sit down and have your bigger next right thing. So your bigger next right thing might be, for example, I'm going to get a new website. So your new website is your big next right thing for the next 2 months. And then each week it might be, well, I'm going to do this part of it. Now I'm going to do this part of it. And now I'm going to do this part, and so on. And what will happen is by implementing this system and getting rid of the list and just focusing on your next right thing, you're going to find it makes your life a lot easier. It's going to remove the frustration. It's going to remove the overwhelm. And it's going to give you a more profitable, better, healthier business for you and for your family. So I hope that helps. Go and have a look at the roadmap that we have for our clients. It's there. You're welcome to have a look at it. It's go to morepracticeprofits.com, and at the top at the navigation bar you will see Blueprint Roadmap. Just click on that and you'll see it, and feel free to print it off. So until next time, this is Lorcan O'Donnell, podiatrist, health business mentor, and clinic owner, signing out. Have a great day.